Mutation adaptation. There are two biological phenomena necessary for the existence of today's living species. Mutation can be used by animals, birds, insects, and nonetheless, Tunisian politicians and newspapers and TV stations. Also known as Ben Ali's propaganda tools. These newspapers mutated in less than 24 hours to become the voice of the people and the voice of the revolution. I have a video for you that I made last night. I stayed up until 5 a.m., by the way. This will make up for being late, so you're not mad at me anymore. Absolutely. So I have a video for you guys, and it starts with a snapshot of a mutated newspaper right before the mutation, actually the day Ben Ali fled the country. And it praises Ben Ali. I'll let you watch the video. It's a 1-minute video, and then I'll keep going. So I believe this is the button. So I'm here today to tell you two stories, no big deal. The first story about Hatem Betaher, a 38-year-old Tunisian, professor in computer science, got his PhD from a French university. He had the opportunity to work in France, but decided to go back to Tunisia and teach there, and decided to live in a very small town in southern Tunisia. Hatem Betaher was visiting his mom on January 10th in the small town called Douz. He was standing by a small protest going on down there. A policeman aims at Hatem and pow! He drops dead. That's the picture of the revolution. It's not the logo of Facebook. Those are the people who made the revolution in Tunisia, people like Hatem. His pictures flooded the internet. Every Tunisian thought, that could have been me right there in the street, laying dead. Hatem died for Tunisia, for free Tunisia, and he has a story to be told. I can spend hours today telling you a lot of other stories about people, youngsters, who died for dignity, freedom, and justice. 9 months after the revolution, I'll put up in quotes, we have an 85-year-old prime minister who had an interview 2 days ago with the New York Times, and they asked him about complaints about freedom in Tunisia, 9 months post the revolution. And he said, if a hungry person asks you for food, you only give him enough to survive. Because if you give him too much, he will die. This prime minister used to be the interior minister in the previous regime in Bourguiba. And he was one of the architects of an institution that has been used for 50 years to oppress Tunisian people. Folks, we're talking about 9 months after a revolution. Apparently, our prime minister has a freedom barometer in his wall, and it checks on it every day on how much freedom he can give us. And that will determine how much freedom can we have that day. Because apparently we cannot have too much freedom. The story of Hatem was shared online by a lot of online activists. One of them is a friend of mine that I want to share her story. She's 27-year-old. She suffers from a disease that forces her to plug in her tiny little body to machines every night in order for her organs to work. My friend experienced injustice from an early age where her dad wakes up every night screaming, suffering from post-traumatic disorder from torture when he was a political prisoner. My friend decided to make a change. We had similar visions. We thought if we give everyone the tools and we get rid of censorship in Tunisia, a new movement will happen and we'll get rid of dictatorship. So we had similar visions, we had similar dreams, so we became friends. When Tunisian and European and American news media turned a blind eye on Tunisia, my friend and others shared stories of Hatem and a lot of other stories and kept you informed about what's going on in Tunisia. That is a picture of my friend when we had this movement in 2008 called November 4th, National Day for Free Blogging. The friend that I'm talking about, her name is Lina Benmhenni, and she's nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize in 2011. The picture that I just skipped right now is her private pictures that are shared online today by extremists, to say the least. They are attacking her for being nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize. And I'll go back to Alex's story when he talked about technology, how it's really how to use it. Technology brought us or got rid of dictatorship, and today they're bringing a new form of dictatorship. If you do anything in Tunisia today that does not align with the ideology or the agenda of certain groups, you're automatically attacked by people hiding behind a hidden identity. Islamists use Facebook today to report abuse on any activist who dares to criticize anything that does not align with their agenda. Facebook response is always very slow, if not absent. And that puts things into perspective of all the people who say this is a Facebook revolution and Twitter revolution, all that stuff. Today, I want to share a secret that might be a shocking secret for most of you guys. We did not have a revolution in Tunisia yet. It is only the first step of a long, hard fight. But what I can tell you is we will make it and we will win. Thank you very much.